Hello students, welcome back to part 2 on the lesson on polygons. So the next polygon we want to look at are quadrilaterals, right? So quadrilaterals are four-sided shape. So quad means four, right? And lateral simply means sides. So four sides. Okay. So what I want you to take note is the part on diagonals because that portion here, the column of diagonals, is less emphasized in primary school. But we need to know quadrilaterals and all these different types are quite comfortably and familiar in secondary school. So you can go through the properties here. This is a summary, okay? And I will probably speak to you in person about each of these quadrilateral in person, right? So if you're watching this before we had our lesson, well, you read this on your own. I'll see you in class. Okay, so 3, 2, 1. Am I back? Right. So yeah, I'm now continuing assuming that I've already spoke to you in person with regards to all this quadrilateral. So we will jump straight in and look at some of the questions that we can deal with. So here we start with a kite, right? So the information are given. We know the kite is made out of a two isosceles triangle. And one of the things that we just learned is that the diagonals of the kite, actually they are perpendicular, right? They form 90 degrees, right? So because of that property, we can actually solve this question quite easily. So let's begin. Here we are trying to find angle ABD. So I'm actually sort of mark it out already. Let me clean it out again. Okay, so ABD is this angle we're interested in, right? But to get this angle, what we need is we need to know this angle, right? Because isosceles triangle, if we can find ADB, we can find ABD, right? No issue. Okay. And what else we know is that we know that the diagonal here is 90 degrees. So that gives us a nice right angle triangle to deal with. Okay. So to begin finding the ABD, we are going to start by saying that, well, okay, we can find angle AD. Let's write ADB. Why not, right? Angle ADB is actually 180 degrees minus 25 degrees minus 90 degrees, right? We know that's 90 degrees. Why? Because we learned earlier that the property of the kite is that the diagonals actually form 90 degrees. Okay, so the reason here, of course, is angle sum of triangles, right? So that will result in 65 degrees. Therefore, angle ABD is also equal to 65 because triangle ABD is an isosceles triangle. There we go. Successful, right? So part 2, okay, part 2, we are trying to find angle CBD. So let's change the color here. CBD, so we're looking for this one, right? And again, we can find this first, right? The one up here. And again, we know that this is 90 degrees. So for part 2, same method. We are going to say angle CDB, right, is equals to 180 degrees minus 44 degrees minus 90 degrees because angle sum of triangle, right? And we know that it's a right angle triangle. So this works out to be 46 degrees. Therefore, right, angle CBD is equals to 46 degrees as well because triangle CBD is an isosceles triangle. Right? Successful. That's how you can present your answers and get full credit. All right? Well, one more example. Here we have a question 4. This time round, we are given a rhombus. So same thing we know about rhombus is that the diagonals, they bisect each other, right? So the angles will be 90 degrees and the length will be corresponding, right? So find the value of x. So that's what we want to do. Well, how do we deal with this, right? So Well, what we can do is we can begin by saying something like this. Okay, we can say that angle over here, how about this one? Let's look at this one, right? Let me mark it out in red, right? So we can say that angle ABD is actually equals to angle BDC, right? Which, what I mean, let's write down the value straight away. Why not, right? It's equals to 3x plus 7 degrees. Okay, and the reason, because this is a rhombus, the opposite lengths are parallel. So the reason is alternate angles. Alternate angles, where AB is parallel to DC. That's the reason, right? So we have that. And then of course we know that since it's a rhombus, the over here at point E, it is actually 90 degrees. Therefore, right, 2x plus 53 plus 3x plus 7 plus, oops, why is my Apple Pencil acting up again? Plus 90 is going to be equal to 180 because angle sum of triangles, right? So you work this one out. This will be 5x plus 150 equals to 180. 5x equals to 30. X equals to 6. Well, the answer is find x. We found it and we're done. Okay, so with this, 2 more questions for you to try. They are also from review exercise 11. So you can actually do your assignment 2 on the same piece of paper as assignment 1. Put them all together. Right, so with this, I hope you are getting comfortable with the idea of using all the properties of quadrilateral. So that ends part 2.